Good afternoon. My name is Dawn McKnight, and I am the Executive Director for NALTO. On behalf of the association, I would like to welcome you to today's webinar, How to End the Credentialing Chaos in Healthcare Recruitment. Before we get started, I just have one housekeeping item to share with you. Please type all of your questions into the chat, as there will be time both during and at the end of the session for our questions. Now I'm going to introduce today's speakers. Our first speaker is James Heil. He is the Sales and Key Accounts at IMS People Possible. Our next speaker is Eric Dorsey, and he is the Assistant Vice President of Sales at IMS People Possible. And our third speaker is Sagar Jaiman. He is the Assistant Vice President of Operations at IMS People Possible. Now I'm going to hand it over to James to begin the presentation.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to have you here. Hopefully you are highly caffeinated. I know being right after lunch, hope to keep you entertained and understand. I'm excited to see that there's well over 100 people attending today. And so first and foremost, you should feel confident that you are not alone. This credentialing chaos in healthcare recruitment is not just something that you're experiencing. It's something throughout the industry. I know it's something that I personally experienced. I've been in healthcare staffing on the locum side primarily since 2001. Had the honor of being on the NALTO board for several years, and so I completely understand what you're doing and some of the pains that you go through. And so excited to be here. Eric, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, James. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the webinar today. My name is Eric Dorsey. I am, as you see, a registered nurse. Been in the healthcare space for 15 plus years. I've also been a staffing agency entrepreneur, started my own agency in 2018 and sold that company within 2 years to a large nationwide staffing firm. I then joined them as their chief nursing officer for the following 3 years throughout the pandemic. Now, I work with IMS supporting clients like you. Sagar, why don't you introduce yourself?
So, thanks, Eric. Hello, everyone. I'm Sagar. I am into the recruitment industry for past 12 years now. And for past 5 years, I am dedicated to healthcare space. Specifically, my portfolio is credentialing and some part of recruiting of locums and nurses both. So I handle the large-scale credentialing and compliance processes for our onshore partners. And I would be, sharing some insights from my side. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. So just a quick overview of what we're going to talk about today. We obviously did the introductions, current healthcare landscape, challenges in credentialing and compliance. We'll talk a little bit about the strategies to overcome these challenges. We'll talk about leveraging offshore verification centers to help you with that, as well as selecting the right offshore partner. There are right ways and there are wrong ways of doing that. So we'll try and help you be able to work through that. And then, like Dawn said, Q&A at the end. But if you do have questions during, please add those to the chat, and we'd be happy to get to those if we can during the presentation, or at the end, we'll make sure to answer any questions that you have. So the current staffing market, this has been the case since 2001 for the most part. We've had a couple of years where this graph hasn't looked like this, but for the most part, we've seen it, always growing. It's going up and to the right. And, we're looking at a global market valued at over $42.5 billion in 2022. And by 2031, 81.9. So there's a ton of growth that's going to be happening over the next few years. And we need to be ready for it, right? We need to have not only the ways to recruit providers, the ways to manage our clients, but also we've got to get these folks credentialed. And so that's what we're here today to talk about, is different ways to be able to help with that credentialing. So the current healthcare landscape, 2025 locum tenens market remains strong and adaptable, with growing use by healthcare facilities and revenue outpacing other temp staffing sectors. The rising demand in psychiatry, neurology, and primary care, along with just the general physician shortage as a whole, solidifies its role as a key staffing solution nationwide. A lot of stats, I won't go over each and every one of them, but did want to highlight a few of them. The forecast, obviously 7.8 to 8%. Growth. The U.S. revenue growth over 5% is forecasted. And then something that gets brought up a lot is that physician shortage. So by 2036, right now the numbers are looking at around 86, some numbers as high as 100,000 physician shortages by the 2036 mark. So some challenges in volume credentialing. So as you ramp up your business and you start bringing on more providers, not only do you have to credential them, but you have to re-credential them. You have to keep those files up to date. You have to make sure that documents don't expire. So let's talk a little bit about the multi-state license requirement.
So I'll take this one, James. Yeah, one of the biggest, challenges, or I would say headaches we see into credentialing, especially when, you're handling a lot of volume, is the whole multi-state licensing piece. Locum providers, are constantly moving around, working in different states, and each state has its own rules, timelines, and documentation quirks. So just keeping the track of which license is active, which one's expiring, and what's pending where, it becomes a full-time job. And if you don't have a system in place, that makes a really big chaos there. We have personally seen cases where everything else was ready, onboarding is done, background is cleared, but the start got delayed because the license verification didn't come through in time. So on the operations side, we have had really tighten our license tracking process, use automated reminders, even proactively guide providers as well on the compact state options when possible. The bottom line there is, like, if you don't stay ahead of this, it can easily slow down the whole placement cycle. So yeah, that is a very important piece or a challenge, I would say.
And then Sagar, can you talk to us a little bit about, I know you've had a lot of dealings with inaccurate documents as they come in. How do you handle that, and what does your team do to help facilitate that?
So, well, I want to know from Eric's side as well, because he is a nurse being himself, and he is the person who share the documents usually with us. So yeah, inaccurate documents has always been a challenge, and it's not something somebody done it intentionally, but we get documents all the time. Either they are expired, either they are incorrect, and you have to act fast. You have to act fast on that and get the correct documents timely, from the clinicians there, because they have the package ready all the time, because they are, switching from one job to another. So they just keep sharing the documents, and sometimes they don't even realize that this document is no longer active. This document will not work. Or, sometimes the hospital facilities, they have some weird requirements and they need something new there. So in all such cases, we keep on chasing the candidates and get the correct documents all the time. Eric, what's your view on that?
No, I think the key word you said, Sagar, was timely. I mean, inaccurate documents can be a bottleneck that can slow down your placements, and of course impact your bottom line. Less if you're not getting providers to work quickly, obviously you're not getting paid quickly. So I think we frequently encounter issues with inaccurate or incomplete documents submitted by providers, which of course requires us that extensive follow-up, verification, and can significantly delay that credentialing process, leading to missed opportunities for you all as a staffing client.
Right. And so the final thing in this area, I want to talk a little bit about unavailability. So obviously there's a shortage. We all know that. Don't have to tell you that. There's a shortage of providers, but there's also a shortage of in-house personnel. And sometimes, we lock down personnel, and then 3 months later, 6 months later, they realize, I don't want to process paperwork 24/7 of my life. This is not what I went to school for. This is not how I saw my life. And they leave. And so then you've got to train someone else. And so the great thing about working with an offshore partner is that you're able to ramp up and ramp down your business. And so can you talk a little bit about, how we manage that unavailability of onshore folks with offshore, Sagar?
Yeah, certainly. So this is a real challenge, James, and not only that, there is a challenge, on the side of the clinicians as well, which I'll come to later. But yeah, how we are solving this particular challenge is that we have a robust process settled, and we have a trained team. Even myself, as I said, it's been 5 years into locum credentialing. So we have a well-defined, robust process there where the team is trained, the trainers are trained. So, we always have people available who are completely trained about the locum credentialing business. They know every ins and outs there. So even if a person leaves, we always have 10 10 more persons to, replace that person. While for an individual organization in onshore, it could be difficult to get a new person, get that person trained, and by the time the person is up to the speed, it could be, it can delay some starts. But with us, or in offshoring, we have a complete team there who takes care of this part. All the people are already trained, so they can start the work from day one. They are trained, they have worked on these kind of roles earlier, so we are all sorted there. Another piece of unavailability, James, which we see, that is the challenge which we get with the clinician. And now, with all the respect to all the physicians and clinicians out there, they are, either on assignment, traveling, working night shift, attending patients, catching up on the rest between all the jobs. So, whenever you need something urgently on one missing document or a one quick signature, it's not always easy to reach them. You leave the voicemail, you send messages to them, and still maybe you get a response back from them within, not within, but more than 24 to 48 hours. And in high volume credentialing environment, these kind of delay, make things more worse. And that's why we try to build the process, as you were saying about that, how we are dealing with all those things. So we have developed a process where we work around their schedule with their flexibility. We work out of hours, we work in night shifts, we work with text-based nudges with them, and even we work on the timings which are more flexible to them. So by using all those tactics in offshore, we deal with the challenges both with the unavailability of the onshore team and with the unavailability of the clinicians as well.
Very good. Eric, anything to add?
Just that I think these challenges, when combined with high volume, they create a significant administrative burden and compliance risk for your internal teams. This is the chaos that we're talking about. So, I think we can move on to the next slide and talk about strategies that we've found to overcome these challenges.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So centralizing credentialing through a digital platform, that's definitely something that we've seen a lot of. There's several different platforms that are being developed. Sagar, something that your team, I'm sure, is using with companies, some of our clients that are currently with IMS.
Yep, it's certainly what my team is work. We have a centralized credentialing team. I call it a center of excellence there. But Eric, I would like you to take this one, because Eric is the the person behind the role who helped me created this entire centralized platform there of the credentialing.
Yeah, so how do we move from chaos to control? I think we've identified 3 core strategies here that are essential for overcoming these hurdles. That first being that centralized credentialing through a digital platform. So I'm thankful that gone are the days of managing credentialing with spreadsheets and scattered files all over the place. When I started my agency in 2018, I had filing cabinets stuffed full of copies of driver's licenses and skill assessments and TB tests, and would have to scan those and upload those to a file. And I'm thankful that that's no longer the way we do things. So I think implementing a robust, centralized digital platform is key to your agency. Creates a single source of truth for all that provider data. It automates your workflows. It provides much needed visibility into your entire process when it comes to credentialing compliance. Sagar?
Yep, thanks, rightly created, Eric. And I would just like to highlight the the points which are mentioned in the second point, is that how leveraging offshore verification center help us. So one of the most practical ways to deal, as an Eric has created, when you are working in a high volume environment, so offshore verification center can certainly help you there. It would works like an extended team that handles the document follow-ups, license checks, compliance tracking, all based on clear verification protocols. Nothing something which is by being done like as per their wish. All has been done on clear verification protocols. And when the structure is in place, it removes a lot of the back and forth, and that usually slows things down. And the people who are handling this process are not generic support staff. As I said, they are usually trained professionals who understand how US healthcare credentialing works, which state needs what, and how to push things without chasing endlessly. And obviously there is a cost benefit, as we have mentioned, there is a cost efficiency. But what really makes a difference in the ability to scale quickly and keep things moving outside is your usual business hours. And as I earlier mentioned, offshore teams can work out of the hours, which really helps in the busy environment of clinicians and especially physicians. And the most important thing is that all that come with the option of scalability, up or down. It can happen like this when you work with offshore, because offshore always has their team ready, which is trained and which can work around the hours in the number you want. So quite a flexible environment you get when you leverage the offshore centers, while your on-site team can work on critical tasks and work on more sailing side.
Very good. Thank you so much. We can switch to the next slide. So what are some other ways, while we are here to focus on the credentialing side, that you can leverage offshore for locum tenens staffing? Sourcing and recruiting is one that, obviously we do, and we do a lot of. IMS has been around for over 20 years. We have about 3,500 different employees throughout 3 delivery centers, not only in India, but out in the Philippines, to be able to help source and recruit. So that's definitely one of the ways that we're able to help you. The second way, Sagar, you want to take the next two?
That's my favorite, credentialing and onboarding both. So, when it comes to locum staffing, credentialing and onboarding are, where things either move fast or they completely get stuck. There is nothing in between there. So, and that's where, offshoring can really play a smart role. So for credentialing, offshoring team can handle all the time consuming stuff. And as I mentioned earlier as well, all the document collection part, license verifications part, primary source checks, and constant follow-ups, which is essential into credentialing work. And without burning out your internal team. Plus, they are working during, again, night hours in the US. So by the time your recruiters log in into the morning, things are already in motion. When they log in into the morning, they see everything ready on their desk. On the onboarding side, there's a ton of forms, hospital-specific paperwork, and compliance checklists that needs to be completed before the provider even gets close to starting. So offshore team can, again come there, take over the back and forth, double checking everything and making sure nothing slips through the cracks. So it's again, not just about saving the time, it's about creating a smooth, repeatable process so your team can focus on what they do best, placing the providers and building the client relationship there. And rest of the things can be taken care by the offshore.
And just real quick on clarity, I know Sagar talked about the folks that can work overnight for you. Our offices are open 24/7. And so we have folks that work, East, Central, West Coast times. We have folks that work overnight. We have some folks that come in just after lunch on Central time, and they work till late in the evening. So we are able to work on the hours that best work for your business, just for clarity on that for everyone.
Round the clock.
That's right. Marketing. Who would like to talk about marketing?
I can talk about marketing. So, offshore can provide support for your market research, do data entry for any campaigns that you may be running, and lead your generation efforts. Outside of IMS People Possible, we have other brands within the IMS group, and IMS Enhance is one of our brands that provides the offshore marketing support services. We'd be happy to talk to you about that after this call. I know this call is focused on credentialing, and we kind of want to stick to that script right now, but marketing is another service that we can provide, along with that provider payroll processing. So we can assist with your timesheet management, do data reconciliation, and preparing data for payroll and invoicing. So, when you think of it, anything that your teams are doing that causes an administrative burden really is a task that we can pick up to help provide you to be more efficient. So it allows your high value onshore staff to focus on client relationships. or strategic placements, complex problem solving, while we handle that tedious, repetitive administrative tasks for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so what are some other tools? We've talked about a few here, with the credentialing software, AI resume screening, something that's big out there, AI. It's about every day I get something from SIA about something that's, happening in the AI world. It still baffles me a little bit. I'm of a generation that didn't grow up in AI, so it's very interesting to me. But man, I can tell you my youngest uses AI all the time. And I know it's a big deal in the market to be able to use this. IMS is investing in tools to be able to use AI to help resume scraping, to ensure that resumes are, put in a certain format, different ways like that. But AI is definitely the thing to look out for, and different tools that would be able to help your business. And then we've got automated forms, form filling and chat bots that can help you.
Eric, you want to talk about the resume part, AI resume screening?
Sure.
Because I know you are currently working on one such project there already.
Absolutely.
Did you say Eric?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, my bad. Utilizing AI to quickly and accurately screen a large volume of resumes is a tool we're using right now with a number of our clients. Most AI use today, I think, is by staffing companies, is being used for communication with candidates, whether that be through text message, or helping to write emails to send to candidates and maybe their customers. But these tools, obviously, their goal is to increase efficiency, to help speed up the initial stages of recruitment. I think it takes both, technology as well as that human capital paired together to make it work like it should, though. Sagar, you want to cover the next point there?
Yep, certainly. And I'll just cover that, AI is everywhere right now. And particularly, there are now tools there which can help, our customers and overall in general people who are working into the locum and nurses space and are dealing with credentialing, that there are automated form filling and chatbots are there. So, in credentialing and onboarding, these tools helps a lot. I'll just name a few. Like there are tools like Verif and Onfido, which can scan and verify the documents for you. They can verify the licenses, IDs, certification, and flag anything which is missing or expired. So it, saves a ton of back and forth there. So Verif and Onfido, these are the tools which you can use to save some time, and you can quickly verify the documents. You don't need a person to just sit there and verify every single document. So these tools can help. Apart from that, there are tools like Hypetos. So Hypetos is a tool which uses OCR, which is which handles in the repetitive form filling. So what it does is it pulls the provider info and populate it across all the hospital packets. So this is also very useful tool. You don't need to do the repetitive work and fill the form multiple times. Hypetos can do it for you. There are tools in the market currently available, for verification, are like Drift and Intercom. So these are something, the chatbots are there. So we all know about the ongoing compliance part, that we have to track what is expiring, what is not. So these chatbots are really great for nudging the providers. They answer the questions as well. If somebody asks them a question, these tools can answer those questions and can also guide them through the onboarding steps without someone manually doing it every time. So this can also certainly help you when you are working with a high volume. When you integrate these tools into your ATS, you can just whenever a physician or a clinician is reaching out, these tools can take the first step there and can guide your clinicians there. But then there is a catch as well with AI again, that while AI can automate the routine stuff, you still need a solid human layer there behind it. So whether a trained team or a couple of people who can handle the exceptions there, who can chase the missing pieces over there. And also build that personal rapport with your providers. So that's where, AI and a mix of humans really work well when you integrate these tools. We would see if we can, share these tools after the presentations with everyone. So, you can explore these tools by yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And so talked about choosing the right offshore partner to be able to help you, with your chaos in credentialing. If you'll scan that QR code, that will get you to a link. It doesn't have anything to do with IMS, just something we created to help you choose the right partner for you. So, what are some of the qualifications that they have? What does their team look like? What references do they have? Think about things like that as you, look to bring on an offshore partner. Just ensure that that compliance is there, that they understand your technical infrastructure. What are they able to do from a scalability perspective? Do you have to wait months for new staff, or are you able to get those fairly quickly? And then how much experience do they actually have in the staffing industry? IMS is mainly focused on the staffing industry, and Eric and I just sell into the healthcare staffing world. So we definitely understand what you're dealing with and the things that you have to do. So hopefully that checklist will be able to help you onboard an offshore company well. And then just real quick, just wanted to show you a success story. So we've got many different case studies that we can show you, but this one, this particular team in 2024 had 81,000 successful compliance checks in 12 months, right? Which equated to 5,433 new shifts booked and 1,400 timesheets processed. And I don't know about you, but that definitely is a boost to your revenue when you've got those kind of days booked and those kind of timesheets coming in. Will definitely help you to be able to grow and move to that next level in your business. And again, I just want to, again, thank the NALTO administration for putting this together, for sending out the information. I'm excited to see everybody. Eric and I will be out in Scottsdale here in a couple months, October 9th and 10th. And if I'm not mistaken, y'all have got about 2 weeks left before the early registration ends. So make sure you get that in before August 1st so you can take advantage of all those discounts and things like that. So, and finally, our last slide will be Eric and I, email will be on there as well as that QR code. If you didn't get a chance to get that, feel free to reach out to Eric or myself. Like Sagar said, we can send you some of those, different tools that we have utilized. We are agnostic, so we do not sell any type of tools. We just know tools that we have used that have been, successful for our clients, and so happy to share those with you to be able to, use in your business. Any questions that have come across, Dawn? Or?
I have one, but I already answered it. And the other one is, how do I scan the QR code on a computer? Let me see. You should be able to just do it with your phone. I'm just trying. It's working for me. So if you hold up your download, if you hold up your phone right over the QR code with the camera on, it should work.
Yeah, and if you don't have your phone with you right now, if you just want to do a quick print screen, you can save that, and then whenever you get your phone, you can use that saved document to be able to scan it. Or feel free to email Eric or I, and we can get it to you.
There you go. Let's see. It's mostly comments. Well done. Good insights. Thank you for the great webinar. Thank you. Thank you. Got it. Thank you.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah. So I guess there isn't any questions. I didn't see. Yeah, none came in. Just a lot of positive comments. Good information, gentlemen. Thanks for being with us today. So yeah, so I just want to thank Sagar, James, and Eric for their time this afternoon, and also for being a vendor partner of NALTO. And like James said, please, 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 if you want to go to the fall fly-in, I'll say register now and book your hotel room, because the rooms are going fast, especially if you want to stay at the on-site hotel, which is the Westin Kierland. IMS is going to be there. You can talk with these fellows a little bit more, as well as just be there for some great content. So thanks again to IMS people for being here with us today, and for all of our attendees, and we'll see you all on the next webinar.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, and thank you for allowing us to partner with you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.